edge and integrating that back into a central data science process or value add. I keep telling my colleagues and my clients that what you're trying to do with AI, you're trying to build an AI flywheel where you have data that is continually coming in and helping you build better algorithms to help you build more value. And a lot of that data is living on the edge, but it's problematic in terms of getting that and integrating it really well into a central type of framework. I know you've done some work on that. How do you think about that? How do you think about solving that problem?
Yeah, that's it. You bring up a really, really great point because a lot of people, they just think, edge, and they think cloud, or they think on-prem. And really, when you're doing edge, you're not just doing edge, right? Because you've got this distributed environment. You got all these cash registers. You've got all these cars. Well, it's not like the data scientist is living in the car, right? And data scientist is somewhere else, right? But that model, sometimes that model, needs to be centrally managed. It needs to be centrally observed. In fact, often that's what you need to do. We kind of think of it almost like an octopus, where the brains are in the cloud or on some centralized data center somewhere, and the tentacles, where things are happening, are at the edge. And so you have to tie the two together, right? So it's not just about running inferencing at the edge. It's about how do you manage what's running, how do you observe what's running, how do you retrain and redeploy, how do you automate some of those processes in a much more coordinated, centralized way. And then the other thing you have to realize is, if you're doing inferencing at the edge, and none of that comes back into a central spot, you're never going to have learnings which are across all those things, right? Like, you can learn something in one car, or you can learn something in one satellite, or you can learn something in one particular version of something, but there's also stuff to be learned across all the cars, right? Or across many cars. You won't know necessarily that there's an issue at an intersection just from looking at the fact that one car is slowed down. Maybe the driver got out, or maybe fell asleep, or who knows what, right? But if you see all the cars are stuck at an intersection, you have much more information that, like, there's something at issue with that intersection. So you do need to bring some data back into a centralized spot, and you need to have further analytics and further understanding in a different way. So you have to solve both that problem and the problem of running things efficiently at the edge. Part of it is not a technology issue. Part of it is knowing your use case and knowing what data and what stuff needs to happen in a centralized spot, and what data and what stuff needs to happen in an edge, right? Part of it is a technology issue of making sure these things can work both autonomously but also together, right? And the reason for both is that sometimes you don't have you need the car or the satellite to operate, even if the satellite link or to the mothership is down, right?
Right.
Otherwise, then you're like your cell phone in the dead zone, right? You don't know what to do. So you need both of those things, right? And so we've given a lot of thought to that. I'll be honest, we're working on it still. It's not like we're at the end, we're like, here it is. But we're working on it together with some design partners, together with some really well-known technology companies and other customers. And so again, this is a very fast evolving field. There's a lot to be done here, but we're having a lot of fun doing it.